as far as Real Madrid are concerned, obviously, it's kind of been a reflection of the season, right? It's been tough. It's been tight. When they've done things, it's been through individuals rather than collective play. In this game, they had to go for it, given the result of the first leg and Chelsea's away goal. And there was nothing there other than, again, individuals. Benzema coming up twice, and everything else just seemed to be missing. They couldn't match the intensity, and they couldn't match the organization.
And the worst, I was at the game, Gab, and the worst is that there was no movement. And maybe on television you could not see properly because of the way it was shot, but at the ground, with the whole view of the pitch, there was just nothing. No movement, no running, no... There was just nothing there. Collectively, I mean, so you have the ball and all you play is feet there. So for Chelsea, who are so good defensively, so well structured, organized, so easy to defend. You know exactly where the ball is going to go because the ball never goes in behind or into space or in between two players, or there's just no, 2 steps on the side to create an angle. None of that. And I was like, what are you doing?
That's the thing. I mean, Chelsea managed to play with quantity and quality, as we like to say in Italy. Real Madrid, I think, had a big issue with it. I think possibly also because, at some point, we said this all along, age catches up to you. So Toni Kroos, Luka Modric, wrong side of 30, at some point, they're not going to be able to have that energy, especially when they have this crazy whirling dervish that is N'Golo Kante running all around them constantly. And even if you somehow evade him, then you have 3 central defenders, plus Azpilicueta, who is playing wing back, but it's like a pretendo wing back because Azpilicueta is now officially, I think, a center back, no matter where he plays. So it's really, really difficult. And then up front, you have the one guy the 2 guys who you thought could create that acceleration, create those one-on-ones, Eden Hazard and Vinicius. Vinicius starting out effectively almost as a wing back and changing his position. I did not think he had a good game at all.
No.
And you are Eden Hazard, where you're gambling on his quality, coming back home and whatever else. It's really, really difficult.
It is. And I felt a bit for Hazard because it could have all been the fairy tale of he comes back, not for Chelsea fans, but he comes back and then suddenly find that form again. But you play him centrally, which means that every single time, pretty much, he receives the ball with his back to goal. And not just with his back to the Chelsea goal, but also with either Rudiger, and when I do this is Rudiger for you.
This is the sound that Rudiger makes.
Exactly. Or Thiago Silva, or Christensen, or Jorginho, or someone there. To not let him even the time to turn around or anything. Why he was so good on the wing is because often you would get the ball and face your defender, and then you could go one-on-one, and that's when he's really good. Him playing with his back to goal is never going to work. So I think this one, Zidane got it wrong as well, and there was not creativity, there was nothing.
That was a function of the system, and we'll get more into that in our podcast, Download Gavin Jules. I want to get you, though, on the fallout, because obviously when stuff like this happens, there always are scapegoats. And Eden Hazard, I knew it. I knew it when the final whistle, you see him joking and laughing with some of his former Chelsea teammates, and sure enough, less than an hour later, Jose Pedrerol from El Chiringuito in Spain, pushes a picture and says, "What?" I know this stings as a fan when you see somebody fraternizing with the opposition, especially when it's somebody who hasn't lived up to his transfer fee at all. Is this fair, or is this understandable, or does Hazard care?
He should have known better, no? He's been in this game long enough to know that. I know the 2 at Stamford Bridge, the 2 dressing rooms are apart from each other, so because you don't cross. So, but still, he could have seen Zuma and Mendy and all the others who are very good friends, well, Zuma especially. And
How's he good friends with Mendy? How does he even know Mendy?
No, I mean, Mendy was there, but more to say well done or something. But Zuma was really the one he was laughing with, and I get it. But not like this, not in front of the whole cameras. I saw it where I was, and already I thought, oh, come on. And I knew exactly what would happen.
Yucking it up with the opposition when you've just been knocked out is a terrible look. I think also, there's always fallout in Madrid. Hazard is going to be a scapegoat here.
Yeah.
Zidane, we don't know. There's still a title in play. But I think there's a lot to get into for Real Madrid. There's a lot of stakes ahead of us, a lot of things that can change. We're going to go into that in more detail on our podcast, as well as Zidane's system, as well as trying to sift through how did Havertz and Werner get so good?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.